Now on 4 News at 6, a Spokane mom killed by a teen driver while out jogging with a friend.
What happened yesterday was just so horrific and tragic.
How a local running team is honoring the loss of their teammate.
Fire crews are on high alert Friday. I'm tracking the return of 90-degree weather and gusty winds. I'll show you which areas will be most at risk in your first alert forecast.
And here's a live look at I-90 in Spokane Valley. It's back open after being closed for hours today. We're live with what led to a deadly semi-crash and why it took so long for the freeway to reopen. You're watching 4 News now at 6. Well, flowers now lay in front of a tree on Spokane's South Hill, where a woman was killed in a hit and run yesterday. Sarah Doxey was a well-known executive in the medical community, serving as the Chief Operations Officer for Chaz Health. And she leaves behind 2 kids. Thanks for being with us tonight. I'm Derek Dice.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Sarah was hit by a 17-year-old driver who police believe was driving under the influence. We have team coverage tonight on how her friends and family are choosing to honor Sarah. We begin with Hunter Bertram, who was in court this afternoon as that teenage boy appeared in front of a judge.
A 17-year-old boy appeared in Spokane County Juvenile Court today on charges of vehicular assault, felony hit and run, and driving under the influence, after police say he hit jogger Sarah Doxey on Spokane's South Hill.
If there is a threat to community safety, the court is concerned both with the facts as alleged, the nature and serious nature of the offense.
Court documents revealed that at 5:30 in the morning, Doxey and a friend were jogging along South Perry Street when multiple witnesses told police they saw the teen's car hit Doxey and then crashed into a tree. Doxey and her friend were running towards traffic on the east side of the road when it happened. It's reported the teen then ran westbound into a golf course. A passenger in the car at the time of the crash stayed on scene.
Also revealed in the court documents is when the driver left the scene fleeing into the Manitou Country Club behind me. They ran so fast they ran out of their shoes. The suspect then picked up later by law enforcement without any shoes on.
Court documents state that the teenager was arrested about 30 minutes after the crash. He was found bleeding and without shoes, showed signs of intoxication, and failed a sobriety test. When officers arrived at the crash site, documents say Sarah was lying in the street, unconscious and not breathing. She was taken to the hospital and later died from her injuries. At the teen's court appearance today,
the court is concerned for the safety of the community and does not believe at this time that there are least restrictive alternatives that can mitigate that community safety risk.
Judge Smith denied releasing the teen from custody, setting an arraignment hearing for July 23rd. In Spokane, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Well, Sarah Doxey was also part of the Spokane Swifts, a well-known local women's running team. And this morning, her teammates laced up their shoes with heavy hearts and ran to honor her life. In this 4 News Now exclusive, our Jordan Smith was there as they made the emotional journey back to the scene of the crash.
All right, we're having some technical difficulties, obviously. Let's get to Chris Crocker now with a look at your first alert forecast.
We have a fire weather warning in effect for Friday, 2 in the afternoon until 10 o'clock Friday night for the area shaded in pink on your screen. That does include Spokane, the Washington Palouse, the Columbia Basin, and the Waterville Plateau. And it is in the Waterville Plateau where some of the wind gusts will be the strongest. Gusty winds and the hottest weather since Monday. We're going to be back in the 90s. 92 in Spokane tomorrow, 91 in Coeur d'Alene, just a bit above average. It is also very dry with relative humidity in the low teens expected tomorrow. 101 in Lewiston tomorrow and 96 in Grand Coulee. We'll start the day off with relatively calm conditions right around noon, 1 o'clock. We'll start to see some of the gusts developing around 20 miles per hour in Spokane. By late afternoon and early evening, we'll be in that 25 to 35 mile per hour range with those stronger gusts in the Columbia Basin. 4 things to know about your weather: hot and windy on Friday with that fire weather warning. It is going to be cooler for the weekend. Temperatures dropping down in the lower to mid 80s in many locations. Breezy at times on Saturday, but not as windy as it will be tomorrow. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. The gag order in the University of Idaho murders case has been lifted. That order barred the people involved from speaking publicly about it for more than 2 years. It was put in place to protect Bryan Kohberger's right to a fair trial. But since he admitted to the murders, the judge said it's no longer needed. Kohberger's lawyers were against lifting it, arguing the ongoing publicity threatens his safety. Lawyers representing the media coalition, including 4 News Now, say the media should be allowed to reach out to those who know the most about the case. The judge saying he does not believe the purpose of the gag order is still at play here, adding whether it was lifted or not, the media frenzy will continue.
It is a little bit like a, water will find low ground. In this case, the media is going to write about something regardless.
Now, the lifting of the gag order does not unseal any previously sealed documents in the case. The judge says the court will reveal sealed documents to determine what can be unsealed after Kohberger has been sentenced. His sentencing is set to take place on Wednesday.
The city of Moscow says because of public interest in this case, it will create a website where it will post all of its unsealed documents. The police department says this will take time since there is a substantial amount of records that need to be reviewed to determine if they can be shared and what info needs to be redacted. You will be able to stream Bryan Kohberger's sentencing next week on KXLY.com or on your connected TV using the KXLY Plus app.
Well, protests against the Trump administration erupted across the nation today as part of the Good Trouble Lives On National Day of Action.
This movement is meant to honor civil rights activist John Lewis and his fight against racial injustice. Alexandra Cohen-Yarts joins us from Clark Park, where a local demonstration is just wrapping up now. And Alexandra, this was nicknamed No Kings 2.0.
That's right, Kirsten. It was, and the protest is just wrapping up. But earlier, there was a whole line right here off Division by Clark Park filled with people here for the Good Trouble protest. Now, it is said to have gotten its momentum from the No Kings protest that we saw last month. This protest is just one of the 1,600 happening across the country. Protesters started to gather in Clark Park around 4 p.m., coming together for what they call Making Good Trouble. Organizers of the event described that as peaceful, nonviolent action meant to create meaningful change.
Here to really to support all of the great people here and to support America. What we have happening in Washington is horrible. It's anti-American.
This is not the first Good Trouble protest. They've actually been happening across the country for the last 5 years since the passing of Congressman Lewis. However, as far as we are aware of, this is the first one that is against the Trump administration. Now, this protest stayed very peaceful. However, we've seen a lot more demonstrations around the country and in our area recently, and it's meant a lot more work for our police force. What that means for their budget coming up later at 6:30. For now, reporting live, Alexandra Cohen-Yarts, 4 News Now.
All right, Alexandra, thanks so much. We have a lot more coming up here on 4 News Now at 6.
Including...
I can hoop. It's just funny to say, I work hard and, I'm trying to get better every day.
That's former Zag Drew Timme. He's gone from undrafted to now a potential star in the making with the Brooklyn Nets. Coming up, what Timme says has fueled his standout success.
And doctors say now's the time to think about back-to-school vaccines. Why waiting until the last minute could put your child's health at risk. Plus, cuts are coming to the U.S. Department of Education. Why supporters say it's a win for states and parents, and why critics fear students could pay the price.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV. 4 News Now is brought to you by Walker's Furniture.
It's the Summer Splash Sale this week at Quality Spas at the North Division Y, where we take our popular Cal Spas made in the USA and mark them down as low as $7,995, with giant swim spas up to $3,000 off, and our super deep 6-foot swim spa up to $4,000 off, making it the perfect time to cool off or relax this summer with massive savings this week at Quality Spas in Spokane.
Life's just better in a spa.
Visit us online at parkersubaru.com or come by and see us at Parker Subaru in beautiful Coeur d'Alene.
Global Credit Union serves the men and women of our armed forces stationed around the world.
We're proud to honor our military members by wearing red on Friday.
Red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed, and 4 News Now and Global Credit Union are inviting you to wear red on Fridays too.
Show your support for the men and women of our armed forces.
Tell them and their families thank you for their service and for protecting our future. Stop by any Global branch and pick up a red pin.
And then remember to wear red every Friday from now until September 11th.
There's a reason Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. A heartbeat strong, steady, unwavering. Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do. In every Chevy truck, like every Chevy driver, dependability comes standard.
During July, Chevy drives America. Well-qualified buyers can get 0% financing on this Silverado with around $8,000 in total value. That's 15% below MSRP. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
It's the All-American Sale at Brothers Flooring. Save big this week on American-made laminate and LVP. Plus, all military and veterans can save an additional 5% off during our All-American Sale at Brothers Flooring.
Tomorrow, it's a live GMA summer concert event you won't want to miss. G-Eazy and Bia kicking off your summer weekend. Tomorrow, only on Good Morning America's Summer Concert Series, sponsored by Massage Envy.
Welcome back. Sarah Doxey, the woman who was killed in a hit and run on the South Hill yesterday morning, was also part of the Spokane Swifts, a well-known local women's running team.
And this morning, her teammates laced up their shoes with heavy hearts and ran to honor her life. In this 4 News Now exclusive, Jordan Smith was there as they made the emotional journey back to the scene of the crash.
This morning, an outpouring of support for the Spokane woman who was struck and killed in a hit and run Wednesday morning. The Spokane Swifts, the running group that Sarah was a part of, came back to the scene 24 hours after that hit and run to pay their respects, leaving behind this memorial.
What happened yesterday was just so horrific and tragic.
This morning, the Spokane Swifts gathered for an emotional practice. The all-women's running group, circling up on 37th and Grand, flowers in hand.
I mean, we lost in our running community, we lost a mother, a daughter. We're praying for her family, and her children lost their mom yesterday.
The team jogged in unison towards 49th and Perry, right next to where that life-changing crash took place. One by one, each Swift dropped a flower, some leaving running memorabilia in memory of Sarah, paying their respects to the friend who was taken too soon.
We run this road almost every morning at 5:30, and it's just so sad to think that something so senseless took away someone's life and someone's mother.
Circled around the memorial, the Swifts said a prayer and then a moment of silence. Heather with this message for our community.
Every day is a gift, and hugging your family every day, telling your friends and family that you love them, because you just never know. God has a plan for all of us, and yesterday he took our sister Sarah.
For 4 News Now, I'm Jordan Smith.
And again, the teen charged in connection to Sarah's death will be back in court on the 23rd. We will provide updates right here on 4 News Now and on KXLY.com.
Well, I-90 is finally back open after a deadly collision this morning. Shut down the eastbound side of the freeway for several hours. Washington State Patrol says it's still investigating what caused the crash. WSP says a driver crashed into a pole on the side of the freeway, then walked into traffic and was hit by a semi-truck.
The medical examiner is also investigating what happened after the crash right around 9 a.m. It happened on the freeway near Sullivan Road, where hundreds of drivers were directed with a detour. Derek Strom is live on I-90, where traffic is back to normal.
Kirsten, Derek, originally the State Department of Transportation kept one lane of I-90 eastbound open, but then had to close it entirely, creating a massive detour for drivers. It took about 4 hours to officially reopen the stretch of I-90 eastbound after that fatal crash this morning. Now that detour rerouted drivers north on Sullivan Road, east on State Route 290, and south on Barker Road and back onto I-90. Washington State Patrol told me the closures were partially to wait for the medical examiner to get here. Once the medical examiner arrived, they got interviews, took photos of all the evidence and the body's location. The medical examiner also collected the driver's body and any belongings from the driver. From there, a fire hose was used to wash the lanes. The freeway was opened once again. The WSP says it is still investigating the incident as well. What made that driver run into traffic? And after crashing into that pole, traffic is free-flowing once again tonight. Traffic is expected to be normal tonight. Live in Spokane Valley, Derek Strom, 4 News Now.
All right, Derek, thank you. A section of Wall Street is back open tonight after a sewer main break sent a river of wastewater flooding into the area, leaving neighbors and the county with a massive mess to clean up. Here's where this break happened, north of Country Homes Road on Wall Street at Barnes Road. That's just west of the Spokane Department of Licensing office. It was so bad that crews had to break out shovels to clear out all of that waste. Neighbors telling us the smell was the worst part.
It's just obnoxious smell, and you just want to hurry and get away from it.
Something similar happened earlier today, about a mile away at Hawthorne and Division. Fortunately, far less sewage spilled onto the road there, and crews were able to clean it up and reopen the area fairly quickly. But there will be some lane reductions in place through the weekend while they repair the water line.
Your evening forecast, look for clear skies, winds decreasing. It is going to be a calm night. We'll be in the 80s at 7 o'clock, 70s by 9, and we'll have a nice evening. If you want to head out for a walk, enjoy. It's going to be windy tomorrow. I'll let you know what to expect after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Cal Cars in Airway Heights and Coeur d'Alene.
So you want somewhere to play? We got you. A nice relaxing stay? We got you. Wanna be entertained? We got you. Wanna play golf all day? We got you. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Coeur d'Alene Casino. Winning is just the beginning.
Welcome to the Summer Roundup this week at Cal. Over 300 rigs have been strategically priced low, and $44 down is all you need.
We're not horsing around with these special buys.
During the Summer Roundup this week at Cal.
Looking to earn more on your savings without locking it in a CD? With P1FCU's new bump rate, you can earn up to an extra 2.04% APY on your money market just by using your Ascend checking account. Plus, qualifying Ascend checking accounts earn 3.5% APY on balances up to $15,000. Get more flexibility, better returns, and smarter savings. Visit p1fcu.org/bump. P1FCU, your community, your credit union.
Summer's heating up, but your home doesn't have to. During Mainstream's No Sweat Summer Sales event, it's easier than ever to upgrade your comfort with the best financing offer of the year. For a limited time, enjoy 6 months, no payments, no interest on new AC systems. Stay cool, save big, worry less. Call Mainstream today or visit mainstreamhomeservices.com to take advantage of this amazing offer. Cooler air is just a click or call away. Don't sweat it. Mainstream has you covered.
Find amazing deals store-wide during the anniversary sale at Furniture Row. We're celebrating, and that means the more you buy, the more you save. Take $100 off every $1,000 you spend when you liven up your living room. Dazzle with an all-new dining room, embellish and beautify your bedroom, and supercharge your sleep life with a new mattress. And furnishing your home has never been easier with 48 months no-interest financing. That's right, no interest for 4 years. The anniversary sale, on now at Furniture Row.
Idaho's crown jewel ranked #1. A quick drive to Playtime Paradise. Tee off in style, then keep the fun going at the casino. Secure your tee time online at cdacasino.com/golf. Circling Raven Golf Club at Coeur d'Alene Casino Resort Hotel.
All right, we are continuing to track wildfires burning across the inland Northwest. Fire officials in Okanogan County have lifted all evacuation orders for the fire burning just north of the Omak Airport. This fire burned about 1.5 square miles, but it destroyed 13 structures, including 7 homes. Anyone whose home was lost or damaged because of this fire is asked to call Okanogan County Emergency Management for assistance.
Level 3, meaning get out now evacuation orders are still in place for the fire line near Western Pines fire burning northeast of Davenport. This fire has burned about 9 square miles and is 60% contained. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker is joining us now.
And Chris, crews will be on high alert again tomorrow because of warm and really gusty wind conditions.
Gusty winds, dry conditions, all the ingredients coming together again tomorrow. Today we had a jump in our temperatures. Right now it's 87 in Spokane. 86 in Coeur d'Alene, and as warm as it is, these temperatures are just about average. Here we are moving into the hottest part of the summer where we expect mid-80s to lower 90s. Clear skies across the region, a little bit of a haze on the horizon. We've got some winds picking up tomorrow that should help disperse any wildfire smoke for the time being. Friday, your hour-by-hour forecast. Clear conditions to start the day, 64 in the morning with light winds. Winds will remain relatively light until about 10 a.m. and then things start picking up with some stronger gusts. 82 at 11 a.m. By 2 o'clock, we're already up to 90 with sustained winds at 15 miles per hour. The higher gusts showing up around 5 o'clock. We're also going to see an increase in clouds, 92 degrees. The high temperature, our average high in the mid-80s, so a little bit above. Our forecast wind gusts starting off at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning with 10-mile-per-hour gusts in Spokane, but already seeing stronger gusts through the Columbia Basin. The area where we should see the strongest winds in the Waterville Plateau and into parts of the Central Basin, wind gusts in that 25 to 35-mile-per-hour range. That will continue through the early evening before winds begin dying down. Again, that fire weather warning goes all the way until 10 o'clock tomorrow night, goes into effect at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 25 to 35-mile-per-hour winds in that area shaded in pink on your screen. It's also going to be hot and dry with relative humidity values in the low double digits, low teens. Our high temperature trend over the next 7 days, it's cooler air pushing its way in. That's what's causing that increase in winds. 92 degrees tomorrow, down to 83 on Saturday. This white line right here is our average high. We'll stay in the lower 80s through Monday before we start warming back up again. 90 on Wednesday and Thursday. There is just a hint that we may get some precipitation on Tuesday, mainly in the higher terrain. Mainly, it looks like it is going to be north of the Canadian border, but hopefully a little bit of that will work its way down into the rest of the region. Gusty winds tomorrow. It's going to remain breezy on Saturday, but we're looking at wind gusts in the 20-mile-per-hour range on Saturday. Should be a very pleasant weekend and cooler, which will certainly be appreciated on the fire lines. Derek?
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Still ahead, the Supreme Court clears the way for deep staff cuts at the Department of Education, what it means for federal support in schools, and why some fear students from low-income families and with disabilities could be hit the hardest.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's our 4th of July sale, where you'll find new Sierra 1500s with savings up to $11,250 off MSRP. There's never any dealer-added markups on new vehicles. And ask us about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange at GMC of Riverfront Park.
If you're looking to add more elegance and security to your home, then check out the doors of possibilities from McVeigh Brothers. At McVeigh Brothers, they sell Therma-Tru doors with more than 300 different styles to choose from.
We're working for you.
Due to recent supply chain delays and clearance items stacking up in the warehouse, this week all Walker's Furniture locations are having an emergency inventory liquidation sale where you can save up to 70% on all floor models, discontinued styles, and clearance items.
New inventory is on the way, so we're clearing space and passing the savings on to you. Plus, special 5-year financing was brought in where you can save now and pay over time with no minimum purchase required.
During the inventory reduction sale this week at Walker's.
Style or substance. Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR on 2025 Sierra 1500 models.
ShopDaveSmith.com.
I'm Chad Young from the EasyHomebuyer.com, Spokane and Coeur d'Alene's easiest way to sell your house fast. If you have a few moments, I hope you'll give me the opportunity to make you an instant cash offer on your home. With the EasyHomebuyer.com, we will buy your house in as-is condition with no repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. To get your no-obligation cash offer, give us a call or visit us online at theeasyhomebuyer.com.
Pick up the phone to inquire. Call the Easy Home Buyer.
Stop Bugging Me Pest Control. This summer, don't let stinging insects ruin your outdoor fun. Wasps, hornets, get rid of those stinging pests. Call Stop Bugging Me Pest Control and leave everything to us.
It's our 4th of July sale, where you'll find new Sierra 2500 HDs with savings up to $5,500 off MSRP. There's never any dealer-added markups on new vehicles. And ask us about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange at GMC of Riverfront Park.
4 News Now is brought to you by Findlay Downtown Toyota.
Around the nation, hundreds of employees at the Department of Education are facing layoffs following a Supreme Court ruling this week.
The move aims to fulfill a long-standing Trump campaign promise and shift more power over education to the states. But not everyone is on board. CNN's Maribel Gonzalez breaks down the decision and who it could impact.
Fear and fallout after the Supreme Court ruled on Monday. Staff cuts can continue at the Department of Education. Hundreds may lose their jobs in about 2 weeks. President Trump says the decision is good for schools and families.
We want to bring education back to the states, take the federal government out of it.
Supporters of this move say states and parents should be in charge of education oversight. In a statement, Education Secretary Linda McMahon said the cuts will promote efficiency and accountability. However, opponents argue this action will only harm students and their ability to learn.
People who are coming from working class families who want a different way of life, who want to improve their life choices through education, this administration is making it harder.
Currently, the Department of Education helps fund K through 12 schools, allotting about $28 billion per year. 2 of the biggest funding programs include the Title I program, meant to help educate children from low-income families, and the IDEA program, which provides schools with money to help meet the needs of children with disabilities. The department also manages federal student loans, investigates discrimination complaints, and provides research and data on how students are performing. The Department of Education, however, does not determine what students learn. That is left up to states and school districts, nor does it certify teachers or establish graduation requirements. I'm Maribel Gonzalez reporting.
Well, a former Gonzaga star is turning heads in Vegas.
Drew Timme is now lighting up the Summer League with the Brooklyn Nets, why even NBA veterans are taking notice coming up.
And big changes could be coming to airport security, why you may soon be allowed to bring more liquids in your carry-on, and the eye-popping cost to fix the nation's aging air traffic control system. That's coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Crafted here, built to last. Solid American craftsmanship, made for your home, made for life. Now for a limited time, save 30% on all American-made furniture, only at the Tin Roof.
We owe everything to our troops, past and present, for their honor, courage, and dedication. As a token of our appreciation, 4 News Now and Global Credit Union encourage you once again to wear red on Fridays.
Join us in recognizing our troops and their families for allowing us the freedom we enjoy every day as Americans.
Stop into any Global branch to pick up a red pin and show your support.
And then wear red every Friday from now until September 11.
Wear Red Fridays, brought to you by 4 News Now and Global Credit Union.
Are you moving? Make it easy with Dan the Moving Man. Reliable, efficient, and stress-free. Dan is your locally owned, trusted household and piano moving partner. Visit danthemovingmanwa.com for your free quotes today.
It's the All-American Sale at Brothers Flooring. Save big this week on American-made laminate and LVP. Plus, all military and veterans can save an additional 5% off during our All-American Sale at Brothers Flooring.
If you have plans, change them. The factory-supported Summer RV Show is going on now at the Spokane Fairgrounds. We've brought in hundreds of RVs from every R&R location for our biggest show of the year. Right now at the Spokane Fairgrounds. New travel trailers starting at $15,990. Clean used trailers starting at $99.99. All the nation's #1 brands represented. Save more on bargain lot and one-off units. Sale prices clearly posted. Financing available. The Summer RV Show today through Sunday at the Spokane Fairgrounds.
Crafted here, built to last. Solid American craftsmanship, made for your home, made for life. Now for a limited time, save 30% on all American-made furniture, only at the Tin Roof.
We're back, baby. Yes.
Grandma, he smells really good.
Name something your mate's booty has in common with the basketball.
It bounces.
Celebrity Family Feud, new tonight on ABC.
Relax with the Summer of Me.
Oh, isn't this wonderful?
Watch The Summer of Me over the air on MeTV 4.2. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, we told you earlier about anti-Trump protests happening both in Spokane and across the nation. And while this one was planned, there have been others that aren't. And keeping the peace during those has put a dent in the Spokane Police Department's budget.
These demonstrations led to last month's overtime spending for the Spokane Police rising to over $500,000. Alexandra Conyart spoke with the department today and shares the impact it's now seeing.
Behind me, you can see protesters for the Good Trouble demonstration. It's an anti-Trump protest. Now, you might have noticed how much more frequent these kinds of demonstrations have become within our community. Our police department and their budget has as well. The month of June has been the spendiest of the year for the Spokane Police Department. And while some of those beloved summertime events like Hoop Fest were expected, meaning cost was budgeted in, others were not.
On the spontaneous events, we just don't have that luxury, so we bring in a lot of folks just to be safe, and that's what occurred on June 11th.
Police Chief Kevin Hall is referring to the protests you see on your screen, to which more than 180 officers were deployed, most on overtime, as demonstrations against immigration officers erupted throughout our downtown. Less than a week later, we again saw many officers on duty, this time for the No Kings protest.
Which once again became very, very expensive. And then Hoop Fest occurred. So in that small amount of time, less than 3 weeks, we expended a little over $500,000 in just overtime.
Chief Hall says the future of the department's budget is not much of a concern, something he believes will even out. However, the real worry is his officers, as their fatigue continues to grow.
We can pay the bills. That's just the way business works in policing, and we will continue to do that. But I can't keep grinding my officers down like this.
And as we see more of these protests throughout our city, Chief Hall warns a close look at overtime budget might become a necessity. In Spokane, Alexandra Conyarts, 4 News Now.
Well, the temperatures have been heating up, and we're just starting to take a look at the winds again.
Yeah, that's right. They're expected to start picking back up tomorrow. Let's go to Chris Crocker now for a look at the fire danger that may lie ahead for us.
That's right. It's really the last thing we want to see, with fires burning across the region, and we're right in the thick of our fire season right now. It is a calm evening over Spokane with clear skies, a warm day. Look over the Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. It is a quiet scene. Our high temperatures just a little above average, 88 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. It was 86 today in Sandpoint and St. Mary's, and in the 90s in Lewiston, Ritzville, as well as Moses Lake. Tomorrow, a lot more 90s on the map, including in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 90 in Bonners Ferry, as well as Colville and Winthrop, 101 degrees in Lewiston. Low relative humidities to go along with these very warm temperatures. 88 in Spirit Lake, otherwise in the 90s through the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, including 94 degrees in downtown Meade, as well as 9 Mile, 90 tomorrow at Fairchild Air Force Base. The winds will pick up in the afternoon, particularly the late afternoon and early evening. That has firefighters on heightened alert. I will be back in just a few minutes to tell you about that red flag warning in effect for the region and take a look at our air quality with the fires burning around the region. That's coming up.
All right, talk to you in a bit, Chris. Thank you. Construction on the North Spokane corridor is going to impact drivers who take Upriver Drive past Carlisle Avenue and Ralph Street in Spokane. Crews will remove and rebuild this stretch of road marked in red on your screen just north of the river from Spokane Community College. Beginning Monday, contractor crews will close Carlisle between North Green and North Ralph Streets. North Ralph will also be closed between Carlisle and Upriver Drive until August 1st. We've mapped out the detours recommended by WashDOT in case this impacts your commute.
A long-standing Mexican restaurant in North Spokane is closing its doors for good this weekend. Azteca's North Point Plaza location will be shutting down for good this Sunday. The location's been around for 22 years. One longtime employee says she considers everyone who works there to be part of her family.
They've been a wonderful company to work for. They're like family. We've watched our children grow up together. They're just, they're ready to retire and kind of have a little less stress.
The restaurant will only be taking walk-ins on Sunday, and it will be fully staffed from 11 to 9 p.m. Their Spokane Valley Mall location is for sale, but will remain open for now. Former Gonzaga Bulldog Drew Timme's path to the pros had a few detours, but now that he's had the opportunity with the Brooklyn Nets, he hasn't slowed down.
Timme impressed the league in the few games he played at the end of last season. Now he's continuing to turn heads in Summer League. Coming up in sports, why Timme says the doubters have always followed him, but he never slowed down.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Book your stay and play getaway today at Mistaqua.com.
Join us in celebrating Latah Creek Winery. Don't miss your chance to taste Elena's fabulous food, sip Mike and Natalie's gold-winning wines, and save with our special anniversary discounts.
Cheers. This is important information from AARP and BECU. You're invited to a free event July 30th at the Southside Senior Activity Center. This is an emergency preparedness workshop designed to help older adults and family caregivers in Spokane County take practical steps in the event of an emergency. Come together with others and walk away with the confidence to face emergencies big or small. Connect with your neighbors, local experts, and support organizations and work together to build a safer, more resilient Spokane. Find out more and register at this website.
Whoa.
It's time to cool off this summer in a new 16-foot or 18-foot swim spa from Quality Spa Spokane at the North Division Y, home of the 6-foot deep swim spa.
Life's just better in a spa.
Since 1982, it's been our family's commitment to delight wine lovers with affordable Washington State award-winning wines. Our father-daughter winemaking team deliver a unique experience with every bottle.
Cheers.
4 News Now is brought to you by Windermere Real Estate.
Welcome back. There's no doubt Drew Timme is a Gonzaga legend.
But he's still waiting for his big break in the NBA after debuting for Brooklyn back in March.
Yeah, and so far he's owned the Summer League. And our sports director, Jack Wallace, caught up with the former Zag today and how he's feeling with his time in Vegas.
The Brooklyn Nets have a potential new star in the making in former Zag Drew Timme, stemming from a strong debut in late March to now a blazing Summer League performance.
I can hoop. It's just funny to say, you know. I work hard and, you know, I'm trying to get better every day.
He was a force of nature in his 4 years with the Zags, wrecking his way to winning WCC Player of the Year twice, but he wasn't drafted. Timme would float around 3 G League teams over a couple of years, leaving many to question if he belongs in the NBA, well, until now.
You know, it's huge when guys like that believe in you, and it just makes it all that much easier to kind of just do what I've been doing, I guess.
Dowd was quickly quieted now after a stream of standout performances leading the Nets in Vegas, flying around the floor for a league-high 26 points per game this summer.
Great pocket pass. For them, you know, to have a trust and everything, I think it's helped me be able to do what I've been able to do so far.
The basketball world took notice, from Kendrick Perkins' tweet of support to Nets first-round rookie Igor Dimon praising his game annoyingly good.
You know, I'm probably not anybody's first choice, you know, when I pull up to the park, if nobody know who I was, you know, and then it's like, oh, who is this dude, you know? And so I've got that kind of my whole life. I guess I'm kind of like a ninja or something, you know, in the shadows, I guess.
He spoke about his mental state, too, and how he went from
I was nervous as crap out there.
after his debut to a calmer approach as he grows into the flow of the NBA pace, according to both him and Nets head coach Jordi Fernandez.
At least for me, when I'm just playing and not really thinking, and I'm just kind of going with the flow instead of overthinking, like that makes a world of difference, especially for me. So it's definitely slowed down a bit, which has been good.
Very impressed with him, very happy for him because he deserves it.
As the Summer League nears its end this weekend, Timme's biggest goal remains locked in his head.
First part of the dream is to make it, get your foot in the door, and the second part is to stay and to thrive. I want it bad, you know, and as does everybody. So it's also fun to have to compete, you know, and really claw to get what you want. So that's the goal, obviously, just to keep going and to keep getting better and better.
It's going to be great to see him in the regular season. Well, tomorrow is go time for the Seattle Mariners after a successful All-Star break. They face arguably their most important series of the season, and it's going to be starting the second half of their campaign. Seattle's hosting the Houston Astros, which is a pretty crucial series for the Mariners. They need to snag as many wins as possible against Houston, if not a sweep, to close the gap for the lead in the AL West. The Astros are in first place, 5 games ahead of the Mariners, so obviously the Mariners are going to need a couple of wins here. We're going to head off into break in 4 News Now. We'll be right back after this.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
It's a good day for a drive. Great day for a deal.
Perfection Tire carries a full line of Cooper tires with advanced safety features, warranties, and competitive pricing.
Save even more with Cooper Tire rebates going on now. Nobody beats perfection.
When you walk into one of Walker's Furniture's 13 locations in Washington, Oregon, and Idaho, one of the first things you'll see is the largest selection of quality living room furniture and stylish bedroom furniture on the West Coast. From the rich looks of Leather Motion to modern and contemporary designs, these family-owned stores have provided our communities and neighbors great furniture at great prices.
And remember, Walker's is where
quality just costs less.
Why say no when it feels so good to say yes? Want some help? Yes. Want to skip the line? Yes. Watch an unreleased season of your favorite show? Yes. How about a credit union with low loan rates, no hidden fees, online banking, and friendly member services? Yes. Experience how good yes can feel.
When this happened to me, I called All-Star Auto Glass. All-Star's money stays in the Northwest. SafeLight sends money to shareholders in Europe. All-Star supports the local economy. If this happens to you, call All-Star Auto Glass.
It started with a drive down 8th Avenue.
Wow.
What is this place?
A permanent, year-round market rooted in sustainability, equity, and community. BECU stepped in with trust-based philanthropy and a commitment to the community.
Our partnership with Scale House is helping our members, it's helping our community grow, thrive, get access to food.
From arts to agriculture, Scale House Market is a place where people grow together.
Music in Manitou brings exciting South American sounds from Piazzolla's Four Seasons to Bariba Union's beatbox rhythms. July 22nd and 23rd. Tickets at nwbachfest.com.
At Perfection Tire, we believe in more than just great tires.
We offer free services with every tire purchase, extending the quality and life of your vehicle.
Trust Perfection Tire for our lowest prices and easy credit. Nobody beats perfection.
4 News Now is brought to you by Shriners Children's Hospitals.
All right, welcome back. Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker joins us here once again, and we are starting to crank the heat up again, but it's also the winds we're worried about.
Right. We have to worry about all these different things because they all contribute to fire danger.
Yes, but boy, especially the wind, and it is not going to be as windy as it was earlier this week or as hot, but it is a concern, and enough so that it meets the criteria for that fire weather warning. Here are 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be a hot, windy Friday. Fire weather warning, I'll show you that in just a moment. Cooler conditions for the weekend. Breezy at times, especially on Saturday. Not as windy as Friday. In fact, maybe just what you need to cool you down as you're out and about. Our fire weather warning goes into effect tomorrow at 2, goes all the way until 10. We've got this push of cooler air coming in, and it's later in the day, so we will start to see those winds really picking up late, 25 to 35 miles per hour, and hot and dry. The strongest winds in the Waterville Plateau and parts of the Columbia Basin. Here in Spokane, we'll start to see those gusts developing right about noon or a little bit after, 20 miles per hour at first, and then 25 to 30 mile per hour winds once we're into the late afternoon and more likely the early evening before things slowly die down. Around the region, I'm keeping my eye on Grand Coulee in particular. That's one of the areas where we're seeing the highest winds tomorrow. Here's 4 o'clock tomorrow. 22 mile per hour gusts in Spokane, 24 in Pullman, but 34 in Grand Coulee, and that we'll be pushing 40 miles per hour, but we'll continue to see breezy conditions right on through Friday night and then again on Saturday. Meanwhile, air quality in Spokane back in the good range. We're starting off with our smoke forecast at our current time, but that may go down a little bit overnight, getting into the moderate range once again. But then our winds begin to shift, and that is going to push that smoke out again during the day on Friday. We'll get that southwesterly wind, and that will disperse whatever smoke you may happen to wake up to. Our camping forecast from R&R RV. We're heading to Spring Valley Reservoir in Idaho Saturday and Sunday, a mix of sun and clouds, hazy at times and cooler, 81 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday. We'll also be cooler in Spokane, breezy on Saturday, 83 and mostly sunny, partly cloudy Sunday with a high of 81. Still have that 20% chance of showers on Tuesday. Boy, we could use some rain. It has been just bone dry, Derek. We need it.
Yeah, we sure could. Well, a Spokane native and Super Bowl champion has died of cancer. Brian Brahman was diagnosed with a rare aggressive form of cancer in February and had been undergoing treatment in Seattle, according to ESPN. He played for the Houston Texans and the Philadelphia Eagles. Brahman graduated from Shadle Park High School. He played a year at the University of Idaho and then 7 years in the NFL. He was just 38 years old. In News for Your Health now, vaccination coverage dipped among U.S. kindergartners during the 2023-2024 school year compared to the previous year. That means a decline in all reported vaccines.
But health experts say immunizations are a critical key to keep kids healthy and safe from preventable diseases. CNN's Mandy Gaither explains why now's the time to get those back-to-school immunizations.
Yes, we know it's still summer, but before you know it, school will be back in session. And health experts say now is the time to make sure your students' health is protected.
Make sure they're up to date on their vaccinations before heading into school is something to start thinking about now so we're not caught at the last minute trying to get this all done.
Family physician Gretchen LaSalle says it takes a couple of weeks for children to build up immunity after immunizations. Developing it before school starts reduces the risk of the child contracting preventable diseases during the school year.
Our 4 to 6 year olds, when they're first starting kindergarten or first grade, have a variety of vaccines that they need to be caught up on so they're prepared to enter school in a healthy way and not have to miss school due to vaccine preventable illness.
That includes vaccines for diphtheria, tetanus, chickenpox, polio, whooping cough, measles, mumps, and rubella. Then, after school starts in the fall, LaSalle says there will be seasonal vaccines to consider. Those include flu and the updated COVID-19 vaccine.
A very large majority of physicians and scientists still stand very firmly behind our traditional vaccines and our seasonal vaccines. It's the best way to keep kids safe and healthy throughout the school year.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Well, as you head out on the lake this summer, safety should be top of mind, whether you're on a kayak, canoe, or paddleboard.
Next week is Washington Paddle Safe Week. The Whitman County Sheriff's Office wants to remind you each vessel must have at least one properly fitted Coast Guard approved life jacket. Children under 12 are required to wear a life jacket at all times while on the water. The Sheriff's Office also recommends staying tethered to your paddleboard for extra flotation, making a plan before you head out, and sharing your route with someone you trust.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem hinting at another big change to TSA screening as the Transportation Secretary reveals the staggering price tag to modernize air traffic control. ABC's Andrea Fujii explains.
More changes could be coming to airport security screening. The TSA is weighing changes to the size of liquid containers passengers are allowed to carry on.
I will tell you, the liquids, I'm questioning, so that may be the next big announcement is what size your liquids need to be. We're looking at, our scanners.
Currently, liquids, aerosols, and gels must be in containers no larger than 3.4 ounces. The rules date back to 2006 and a plot to blow up U.S.-bound planes with liquid explosives. The new possible change comes a week after the TSA announced travelers will be allowed to keep their shoes on while passing through TSA screening.
TSA is working on the technology that we have available to us if we deploy it correctly.
So it's just simply
that you can walk in, if you've got a carry-on bag, you should be able just to walk through their screeners, their scanners, and go right to your flight.
Meanwhile, after air traffic control staffing issues and outages at busy airports like Newark outside New York City last spring, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy revealing for the first time how much it will cost to overhaul the nation's outdated air traffic control system. $31.5 billion, about $10 billion more than he estimated last month. He told Congress that at the current pace, it would take 300 years to complete the upgrade.
We can't wait 300 years. We can't wait, 13 years. We need to be doing this now.
Even with billions from President Trump's big, beautiful bill, Duffy is about $19 billion short of what he needs for the overhaul. He said he wants to have an additional conversation about funding because, quote, time is of the essence. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Well, the White House said President Trump has been diagnosed with chronic venous insufficiency. It's a condition where there isn't adequate blood flow to the veins and legs. Trump was evaluated by the White House medical unit after he was seen in recent days with swelling around his ankles. Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt said the president sought medical care out of an abundance of caution. Tests revealed no evidence of bigger issues like arterial disease and that Trump is not in any pain. We don't know how the president will be treated. Typically, treatment for this condition can include medication to increase blood flow, elevating legs, or surgery in more severe cases. U.S. consumers are still spending even as President Donald Trump's tariffs are starting to be felt. Retail sales increased more than 0.5% in June compared to the prior month, a much bigger jump than economists were expecting. Spending at car dealerships was notably higher, and sales at restaurants and bars remained solid. Experts say that's a good sign, considering those businesses tend to be leading indicators of any pullback in spending. But keep in mind, these numbers aren't adjusted for inflation. If you factor in consumer price increases, that cuts the June retail sales bump in half. 4 News Now, we'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
The Pacific Northwest Food and Wine Festival is coming to Spokane. Join us for a weekend of culinary delights, all built around food and wine. Tickets can be purchased via the Experiences tab on the Davenport Hotel's Collections website. The festival is brought to you by these sponsors.
For over 90 years, McVeigh Brothers has been upgrading homes and making them beautiful. In this month, we're offering special financing where you can put no money down, make no payments, and pay no interest till 2026. McVeigh Brothers, we're working for you.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
A penny saved is a lifetime earned. Numerica Credit Union. Money where it matters.
And the princess never felt the pee as the summit made for a perfect night's sleep.
What was it like before Denver Mattress?
30 years ago, getting a mattress was pretty scary. Middlemen hawked spring-filled slabs, hardly fit for a dog, at prices like you wouldn't believe. And you'd barely sleep, what with bad foam and even worse support. But then Denver Mattress came to town. They promised a better night's sleep, and they delivered. And it still holds true to this day. Denver Mattress. After 30 years, still the easiest way to get the right mattress.
It's the All-American Sale at Brothers Flooring. Save big this week on American-made laminate and LVP. Plus, all military and veterans can save an additional 5% off during our All-American Sale at Brothers Flooring.
North Idaho Urology, in partnership with Cancer Care Northwest. We specialize in advanced prostate cancer care.
I'm Dr. Aaron Wagner. I'm a radiation oncologist with Cancer Care Northwest. We have quite a few different treatment options for prostate cancer, ranging anywhere from standard radiation and IMRT approaches to SBRT to brachytherapy, a full spectrum of different prostate cancer treatments. We very much try to individualize their treatment plan for them.
The Pacific Northwest Food and Wine Festival is coming to Spokane. Join us for a weekend of culinary delights, all built around food and wine. Tickets can be purchased via the Experiences tab on the Davenport Hotel's Collections website. The festival is brought to you by these sponsors.
The Curse of Annabelle the Doll. He was found dead in his hotel room while on tour with the demonic doll. Why social media is spooked over his death. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Well, the House has passed a major bill aimed at regulating a certain type of cryptocurrency known as stablecoins.
Yeah, lawmakers approved the Genius Act, a first-of-its-kind legislation. The bipartisan crypto bill will set guidelines that would require stablecoin users to comply with U.S. anti-money laundering and sanctions rules. Stablecoins are crypto assets that are tied to the value of other assets like the U.S. dollar. The bill now heads to President Donald Trump's desk for his signature. The president says the new bill will make America the #1 leader in digital assets. And coming up tonight on Nightside, the changes coming to Coeur d'Alene massage businesses cracking down on illicit activity. That's tonight at 11.
And our high temperature today, 88 degrees, 86 is our average high, so we were not too far off the mark. We're up to 92 tomorrow before we cool down a little bit below average for the weekend and into early next week. Long range forecast, though, 8 to 14 days, calling for above average temperatures. No clear indication one way or another on precipitation. If I were going to put $1 million on it, though, I would say we're going to be below average for precipitation.
It's a pretty good bet, I think.
Yes, persistence forecasting is what we call that in the biz. Gusty winds tomorrow with a red flag warning, a fire weather warning for fire danger. Breezy on Saturday and cooler. And then we see our temperatures moderate a little bit early next week. A slight chance of showers on Tuesday, 90 degrees on Wednesday and Thursday with sunshine.
All right, you might have seen it on social media, but Cal Raleigh, the big dumper, the Mariners catcher, has a new endorsement deal.
And it is fully real if you end up seeing it. I'll show you tonight on Nightside as well. It is an endorsement deal with the porta potty business called Honey Bucket.
Oh, dear.
It's
really,
his
like,
nickname,
perfect.
obviously the big dumper, if you follow along. We're going to show you, we'll show you the pictures later.
I love
No.
it. See you at 11.